Hi, it's Rana, and I have a layout today for the IronCrafters challenge. Our challenge this month was to use frames, and I have pulled out some old wood veneer frames that I've had in my stash for a long time. Super happy to get those used. I am going to alter them with some watercolor cream paste, or I guess it's not paste, watercolor creams, I think is the name of it, Bria Reese. I'm also going to be using some frames from 49 and Market in the Peach collection. I have some sequins from Brutus Monroe and then some little shaker bits also from a little shop that always comes to the crops that I attend once or twice a year. And I don't know the name of her little shop, but I have some little, they're kind of like foil leaves. So I'm going to be using those. I have some cut apart little critters from a fussy cut book from Minte. It's a 6x8 fall book that I got last year. I'm using the Scrap and Happy Studio Flair that went with the Spice collection. And then I'm using lots of the Spice collection pieces, or I'm showing them to you. I don't end up using all that many actually. But I do have the acetate pieces that were the leaves and the butterflies and things, and that was from Peach. And then the chipboard and the ephemera and everything else, I think, was from the Spice collection. So I'm going to go ahead and mix that up, and you just kind of color it down, spray it with some water, and then excuse me, blend it until it's a nice watercolor base. This cold, it's really just a cough, and I just can't get over it. It's killing me. I just have coughing fits every so often, and it just starts, and I can't stop. Anyway, I have pulled out some other wood veneer pieces, some flowers and some hearts, and this little house with a heart in it, and I'm going to go ahead and color those as well. And the wood really took this watercolor so well, and it has an amazing, beautiful shimmer to it. It's a metallic um, watercolor cream, is what it's called, and it is so pretty. I love how it looks. It's perfect for a fall page, in my opinion, with that beautiful tree in the background. I just love it. So these wood grain papers are from Simple Stories, and they're wood grain on one side, and then they're like a grid dot pattern or some kind of grid on the back. And it's just in a pack of several different wood grains. And I chose the darkest one. I really started with a lighter one and liked it, and then I put the pictures on this one, and I just love how it looks. So I'm splattering with my fan brush what I had made up, um, so I'm not wasting any of it. And you can't tell on screen, but it gave it just the perfect amount of shimmer with those splatters. So I really like that. I am going to use one of the frames over a picture, and then the other three frames are going to be where my embellishment clusters end up. So I'm going to start with these leaves because they're going to be a layering piece. And I chose these first. However, I think they blended in just a little bit too much to be the dark wood grain. So I'm going to switch those out here in a minute for the ones that have more white to them. And that white just really helped them stand out a little bit more. So I'm going to go ahead and use the white ones. Still playing around trying to see if I'm going to like it or not. And then I'll pull out one of those and give it a try. And I really like how that looks. So I'm looking through and finding some that will work. I kind of looked at layering both pieces, but that was going to be too much. So I just have to find a third one so that I have one for each of the frames. And I find one that works for each. And I also find a butterfly that I think I will be using here. So I'm liking how that looks. I think that with three big photos like this, a grid um, is a nice look. So I'm going to go with that kind of grid style. I'm going to make a shaker next, and I'm just going to use the packaging. And originally I thought I would use the packaging that these little foil bits came in, but it was really just too thin. Um, it's more like a plastic bag instead of acetate. So I go ahead and put some of those in, and then I put some sequins in, and when I look at it, it's just too thin. So I shake it around, and I like how you can see through it. That part's nice. I love that you can see the shimmer, and those Bruce Monroe. Oh my goodness, those things are so shimmery. It's crazy. They're just gorgeous. So I'm looking at it and I just don't like it. So I'm going to go off camera for a minute here after I decide, no, it's not going to really work for me. Um, I'm going to find another packaging. And this one is just more like a packaging that's just a little bit more acetate like, I guess, than the plastic bag, the little Ziploc bag. So that works better, um, except that the where it folds over, because it's that kind of packaging, it was letting them all come out the edges, but I'm going to fix that here in a minute. But I do like it better. It really shows off that shimmer. So after I lost half of them on my pictures, so I'm going to use some red line tape, and the red line tape, as you know, is very sticky. So it works really well to hold the frame down and the frame to the acetate baggie. So that's going to work out really well. I would normally make a shaker and then have, a piece of acetate over the frame, and then a piece of the shaker bits in the middle, and then a piece of acetate in the back. But if you do that, I like to still have another frame to go over it. So something covering the top piece of acetate. And since you don't have that on a wood frame like this, having the little baggie just glued to the back where it's the front and the back and it can still shake around was a good way to make it work for me for this particular layout. A lot of it's going to be covered up anyway. So we're getting that down, and I really need to make sure I have it in exactly where I want it, because once the red line tape is down, it will rip the paper before you can get it off. So I went ahead and put the leaves on there first so that they could be kind of tucked in behind, because once I had the other glued to it, I wouldn't be able to slide it in. So I glued it down, and then I added another layer of the red line tape on the top and the bottom so that it would for sure hold it in place. And then those sequins are kind of squished right down there in the middle, and it's going to lay nice and flat up against the page. I'm just going to make sure I have everything spaced how I want to. You know how I feel about grids. It's so hard for me to make everything straight. But I think I got this one pretty straight, so it worked out. Now I decide here that the deer was just a little bit too, it was covering up the whole thing, so it was kind of silly to even have made a shaker if I was going to cover the whole thing up. And then, so I switched it out for this little fox, and it takes up a little bit less space, but then you'll see here in a minute I put a heart over it too, so I still took up a lot of the space, but I still like that it's there. I decided this photo really needed a white mat, and I had these printed, so I didn't have the white border around them. So I added some white cardstock behind it so it would have a nice little mat. So I have one with a mat, one with the frame, and then the last one of him just giggling and so cute That one's just going to be left plain, straight on the page. This one's going to be popped up once I get the mat straight. I'm going to use some fun foam and pop that up. Okay, and then we're going to go ahead and get the frame down, put the picture in it, and get it laid down. Still making sure everything is nice and straight. I'll get my T-square ruler out and double check in a second too, but I'm liking how that looks. I think I ended up having to cut that little picture just a little bit because I needed a little bit shaved off the edge just to still have a little bit of border around it. Get the fun foam on this one so it can be glued down because it's exactly where I want it. These pictures are of three of my grandkids. All five of them ended up doing photo shoot in front of this tree. It's my neighbor's tree. It's gorgeous every year, but last year it was just exceptional. And at the right time of day, it was just like it was glowing. It was so pretty. So we had bought all five of the kids these matching bamboo jammies, and I don't know if there's any bamboo moms out there, but my one daughter is just crazy about the bamboo stuff, and we have a really cool shop here in town. People we've gone to church with and have known for years and years. Their daughter has a little shop, so we support them. This one I don't think was one of theirs, but anyway, all of the kids had the matching jammies. The girls had one style and the boys had a different style, and they were all super adorable. So we just took a big puffy blanket and laid under the tree and did some fun pictures, and I think they turned out really cute. I don't think the boys loved the jammies as much as the mamas did, but they played along and they were awfully adorable. So, fun little photo shoot to do. I did do some red line just where the acetate was so that it would hold it down without having to tape it in a lot of places. So I'm going to just have it tucked down behind there, and then I'm going to have one other place where I'm going to use adhesive on the acetate, and that's a pop-up foam piece just right where the little fussy cut deer is going to be in front of it. And that way it doesn't show, and it stays popped up in almost the whole thing, except it's only popped up really in one place, but because of the frame and where I popped it up, it has some nice texture to it. So I'll get my little fussy cut element in there. I've already used some of those pieces on another fall layout for one of the girls, and I just love these. They're so cute. There were so many pages in this book that you could cut out, and then the back sides of them also have really, really pretty images. One's just falling leaves, one's like a plaid shirt with pumpkins. There's a window scene with some pine cones and different things like in the windowsill. So super, super pretty. One of them has a gate and some other windows, and it's a really pretty book. And I've used quite a bit of it cutting it out because I do enjoy fussy cutting sometimes. So I'm placing the little wood pieces. They're all dry now and trying to decide where I want everything. And one of these canvas flares from Scrap and Happy Studio is a tree that is just perfect for my page. It's so pretty. I'm going to find a couple of other pieces too that I really want to use. I wanted to get this third little critter on there, but I didn't want to use all of my space. I needed a little bit of space with, you know, not completely covered. So I found this circle frame and I kind of liked it, and I wanted a little bit more orange in there. So I used that. It's a chipboard piece. I used that in the center of that, and then it kind of adds like as another little frame. And then I thought the tree flare looked perfect there. And then I also found with the chipboard an orange heart of that same color, and it went up in that top cluster. It's already sitting there, and that's where it's going to stay. So I just have to get these glued down. I use my Nuvo Deluxe adhesive to glue anything chipboard, just so that it gives that extra bond. And then going over the acetate, it's kind of important to make sure you get a good strong bond. And then those are the two little flowers. I do use red line tape on the flare. It's a little bit heavier. It's a canvas flare and it's on a metal, the little, I don't know if that's really metal, I guess it is, base. And that looks gorgeous. I love it. Right now I have the butterfly, the chipboard butterfly from the Spice collection over the top of the picture. And I'm going to change that out because when I add the other flare on the other side, I just didn't like it having something over the top of both sides. So I'm going to change that here in a little bit to the other picture. This butterfly I only wanted glued down right in the center where you wouldn't be able to see the adhesive. And once you bend those little acetate pieces, they kind of hold their shape really well. So that worked out good. I'm going to sprinkle some of the sequins and some of the little foil leaf pieces in my 3 cluster areas. And get those all glued down. I'm not sure I showed it on screen, but I did find another ephemera piece that says Fabulous Fall, and it's going to go right where I'm gluing now in that cluster down there. So it says Fabulous Fall, and then I found some puffy sticker letters that I'm going to use for my title, which is a continuation Fabulous Fall photo op. So I spelled out photo op with the letters. You'll see that in the end pictures. So I also use Nuvo Deluxe adhesive for all of the sequins, and they just get glued on super quick and easy there. If you have any questions about anything at all that you see here, or about anything, just leave me a comment. I love the feedback that I receive from you who are watching, and I appreciate your comments, the feedback. I appreciate the likes, and if you subscribe, that'd be fantastic too. I don't say that a lot in my videos, but it is definitely appreciated more than you know. So I kind of flatten my little butterfly out a little bit, and then I'm going to go through here and find a couple more flare. So the one that is going to end up by the picture of my little guy laughing, and it's his book that this is going to go in, it says enjoy the little things, and I thought that was perfect. And then the other one, it just says hello fall, and it's just a real nice color, and it went with it so well. So I liked having that little visual triangle. So there's the enjoy the little things. And see, I had that one there, and it's not bad there, but I ended up switching it, and you can see in this final picture here, it looked better over there on that side instead of the butterfly. So I could put the butterfly kind of on the other frame, and it's not over top of that picture. There's my fussy cut elements, and you can see the title that I ended up with. And that's it. I appreciate you so much. There's a whole hop, so look down below for that playlist and check out what everyone else did with their frames. And we will see you next time. Thank you so much.